I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have a great plan for the weekend going ahead. Today, I want to talk about hormones and how an imbalance in your hormones are responsible for most of the conditions that we face today. Now, each and every one of us are made up of trillions of cells. All of these cells have different functions. These trillion cells that we are made up of, they're useless if there's no communication between each of the cells. Now, what makes the communication happen between each of these trillion cells in our body? They're called your hormones. Think of your hormones as chemical messengers, chemical signalers. There are always signals. Each cell in your body has to communicate with one another for an action to happen. Whether you're lifting your finger, whether you're ovulating, whether your muscle is growing, whether you're putting on weight, whether you're burning calories or burning fat, all of these cells have to communicate with each other to make a function happen, right from your heart health to your kidney to your liver. Now, all these hormones, when they're working in perfect harmony with each other, everything works well in the human body. When our hormonal balance is disrupted, the communication is disrupted. When communication is disrupted, we have problems. Take, for an example, a relationship. A relationship with solid communication works the right way. It may not be perfect, but it works the right way because there is constant communication. The moment there is a communication breakdown in any relationship, parents, children, siblings, husband, wife, lover, whatever it is, when there's a communication breakdown, the messaging stops, there's disruption in communication, and the relationship doesn't work the way it is meant to work. So when it comes to balancing your hormones, there are very, very few foods in the system that can help you. So a lot of us Google the best foods, and we keep getting queries: is broccoli good for my hormones? Is pumpkin seeds good for my hormones? No, it's mainly your lifestyle. When you give your body what it needs, the foundation of good health, it already has the mechanism and the intelligence to balance your hormones the right way. Number one, we need to understand that hormones impact your physical health, your emotional health, your moods, your appetite, everything, your reproductive system, everything is regulated by your endocrine system, which regulates your hormones. The first thing that we need to get into place if we're trying to balance our hormones, and if we don't get this in place, we will have a hormonal imbalance. We may be fit, we may be healthy, we may have a great body, but it doesn't mean we have to have a hormonal balance the right way. Sleep, sleep, sleep. For the longest time, we have been stressing on the importance of sleep. When you sleep, there is magic that happens in your body. Hormones like leptin and ghrelin. Leptin is a hormone that controls satiety in the body. It makes us feel full when we've eaten enough. If we have less sleep, leptin is suppressed, which means we will go on eating, because another hormone called ghrelin is the hunger hormone. Ghrelin, when it's stimulated, makes our body eat more and more and more. So all of us wonder why we can't stop eating. Why do we keep getting these cravings? That's because leptin has been suppressed and ghrelin is being secreted. And that balance of hormones only happens when we sleep. So if we sleep less, we're sleep deprived. So if you have a bad night, you'll find that your cravings the next day for sugar, carbohydrates, junk food, anything that can give you a quick kick of energy is what we will move towards. So sleep becomes so important, not just leptin and ghrelin. Insulin dips. We have insulin problems when we sleep less. Your growth hormones, your GH, your growth hormones decrease when we are sleep deprived, which is why children sleep longer. The longer they sleep, the better they grow. So as adults even, why do we need growth hormones? For our muscle, our lean mass, to repair cells, to repair wounds. We have cells that are constantly dying, repairing, and reproducing in the human body. We need growth hormones for all of that. For our hair, for our skin, growth hormones are required all the time. So you can check all the foods online available, but if you are not sleeping, these hormones are automatically suppressed, and it doesn't work for us. The second thing, exercise. So going back to sleep, so young girls who get PCOD, hormonal imbalances, teenagers, you look into their life, they're stressed out, their sleep cycles are completely out of whack and disturbed, and that's why we get all of these hormonal dysfunctions. Exercise. When you think exercise now, you think insulin. Insulin is a hormone. Our pancreas secretes insulin. It takes all the extra blood sugar, it pushes it into a cell. It takes amino acids from our blood, pushes it into our cell, so our cell has the raw material for energy, for gaining muscle, and everything that we need to keep our weight low and to keep our energy and metabolism high. Now what happens is, When we keep producing insulin, your pancreas after a while get tired of producing more and more insulin, which is a big problem. And the second thing is our cell membranes get so inflamed that we have something called insulin insensitivity, which means your cells do not open up so that insulin can push extra blood sugar into your cells, or the amino acids into your cells. So our blood sugar levels rise, and then we have type 2 diabetes and all the issues that come with that because we have insulin insensitivity. Now, when we exercise, it improves your insulin sensitivity, which means your body can use lesser insulin to do the job of pushing your blood sugar into your cells and your amino acids into your cells. So exercise, whether it's aerobics, whether it's weight training, whatever it is, even walking is sufficient. Consistent walking is sufficient to balance your hormones and to increase your insulin sensitivity. So when we look at diabetes, all we look at is our blood sugar levels before meals, after meals, HbA1c. It's much deeper than that. We look at the health of our pancreas. We look at the quality of our hormones. Insulin is a hormone. We need to look at the quality of that hormone and how it is working in the human body. Sugar and junk, the easiest way to disrupt communication between your cells, the easiest way to cause a hormonal imbalance is by feeding yourself more refined sugar, more carbohydrates, and more junk food. You can have a little if you have to, but the more and more that you have it, which is why young children today are reaching puberty way before their age. They have growth hormone problems, they have juvenile diabetes, they have PCOD, because you look at sleep deprivation, increase in junk food and sugar levels coupled with peer pressure and stress, the perfect condition for hormonal imbalance. And then from that link so many other issues. We have the quick fixes of just putting a young girl on an oral contraceptive, which further has its side effects that everyone should be aware of. So of course, if they need it, they really need it, you take it. But the first thing is we invest in lifestyle changes. Stress. Interconnected with sleep. You don't sleep well, you have more stress levels. You're too stressed, you can't sleep. When we are stressed, we produce a hormone called cortisol. Now, if your cortisol stays up because you're constantly stressed, it's elevated, cortisol increases inflammation in the body. Inflammation leads to every inflammatory condition: diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, cardiovascular, inflammation in your arteries, dementia. These are all inflammatory conditions. Metabolic syndrome, obesity, inflammatory conditions. Cortisol is high, inflammation increases. Inflammation messes up with your cell membranes, making them less sensitive to insulin, and everything else changes in the human body. So we need to, it's very easy for us to say, oh, everyone is stressed. Yeah, if everyone is stressed, then you face all the problems like everyone else. What can you do to reduce your stress? Whether it's meditation, it's introspecting in your life to see if you've taken on too much, your inability to accept, let go. A lot of self-work is required because the world is only going to get more and more stressful. So we need to change ourselves. We need to heal. We need to have self-care if we want to manage our stress levels. Now, when it comes to the foods, healthy fats, good quality fats like MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, like coconut oil, pure ghee, or any of your oils which are cold pressed, not refined. Good fats like almonds, peanuts, pumpkin seeds, sunflowers, your nuts and seeds. These are good fats. Good fats provide a precursor to hormones in the human body. If you go on fat-free diets, you do oil-free cooking and all of this crap, what's going to happen is your hormones don't have the precursor to even produce or do their function. We need fat. Fat does not make you fat. Carbohydrates, extra sugars, a sedentary lifestyle, lack of sleep, too much of stress makes you fat. But fat burns fat, the right quality of fat. So please don't think by reducing your fat you're going to lose your weight. That is not going to happen. And everyone who has tried fat-free diets, oil-free diets, why do they look older than when they started off? Why do their skin lose all their glow? Why does their hair start falling off? Because you have a hormonal imbalance. You don't even have the right hormones for growth. Your hair starts falling. Your skin starts aging. There is no shortcut. Make sure that your diets have the right amount of healthy fats. Your vitamin and omega-3 as well. Now you can get that in walnuts, flax seeds, fatty fish, and all of these sources depending if you're vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Vitamin D3 is not just for your bones. Vitamin D3 is a precursor to your hormones. You have low levels of vitamin D3, you have a hormonal imbalance. So you want to make sure that you've checked your D3 levels and you fixed it along with your vitamin B12 levels. Now, usually green tea, black tea, all of these things, but when it comes to green tea, it has EGCG, which is a very powerful antioxidant, which helps you improve your insulin sensitivity, which makes it great for people with diabetes and great with people who are borderline diabetes. So if it's great for them, it's even great for us, because everything is about insulin sensitivity. All of us eat at odd timings, we eat more than required, we're snacking, we're grazing on food, munching on food mindlessly, causing constant fluctuations in our insulin and blood sugar levels. Green tea is great for insulin sensitivity. And finally, your protein and fiber. You must have protein at every meal. Protein is extremely important for your hormones. It is extremely important for keeping leptin low, for keeping you fuller for a longer period of time. It is required for the quality of your hormones, and alongside that is fiber. Too many people are on low fiber diets. At the same time, too much of fiber will also irritate your gut and cause issues like inflammation in your intestinal walls, bloating, acidity. If you're eating a balanced diet, you have your nuts, your seeds, your fruits, your vegetables, a little bit of your raw, your lentils, whether it's insoluble or soluble fiber, your hormones require the right amount of fiber for communication. And this is it when it comes to hormones. So if your hormones are out of control, women will find that there are cysts growing in them, fibroids growing in them, their endometrial lining grows. Then you have breast cancers, you have tumors, improper signaling between your cells, wrong disruption in your messages doesn't tell your cells when to stop growing, and that grows abnormally into a tumor, a fibroid, a cyst, and all of these things. These are signals that your body's trying to tell you that, hey, I have a hormonal imbalance. For men, no matter how much you work out, you have a big belly, you don't lose that belly fat, you're low on energy throughout the day, your testosterone levels are low, you're fatigued, you're irritable. Hormonal imbalance. Your body is always whispering and telling you what is wrong. Listen mindfully. You don't need complicated solutions. First, fix the foundation of your body, and your body will automatically try to do the job that we human beings are trying to do. We cannot balance our hormones. The innate intelligence of the human body can do that job. So give your body what it needs, and your body will do what it has to. Have a great weekend, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.